Hi, everybody. It's Coach Franny. So, I am actually dedicating this live today to figuring out how to work this thing. I want to be able to see people's comments. It's not something I've been able to figure out before. So, if anybody's out there, if I can see you, that would be great. And if not, I'll keep playing with this until I do get this under control. Um, because I want to be able to or oh, I see an eyeball. That means somebody's there. So who's there? Say hi if you're out there. I am really dedicating today to trying to figure out how once and for all I can really utilize this platform. It's the first time I've ever had it up where I can see comments, but I don't see any comments coming my way. That's okay. Um, so besides trying to figure out how to use this properly, um, the topic I wanted to discuss today is when your child has a different political view than you. And that can be a really tough topic. Um, I know for myself that I would hope my children have the same political views as me, but they don't. So it has been an amazing opportunity to continue practicing my window of tolerance and to also understand they're not my minions. I've raised them to be amazing problem solvers and decision makers. They're articulate, they do their research, and it's been very interesting in our household to learn how to talk about hot topics like politics when you have opposing views with the people that you love. Um, I know politics can bring up huge fights, especially when we get really entrenched to the way we see things and the way we hope other people are going to see things. And I get a weekly email from a woman named Shelly Lefko. I'm going to give a little shout out to Shelly Lefko. I don't know her personally. Her husband was Morty Lefko, and he created the Lefko method, and it's about eliminating I'm messing that up. It's about eliminating limiting beliefs and false messages. And Morty is no longer here on Earth with us, but Shelly still, I guess, runs the company and puts out beautiful emails, and they're just so well written. But one of the emails was about politics, and the biggest takeaway I took from the email is you have your truth, but your truth is not the truth. And I think that this is a beautiful message to read and to also now apply to parenting. You have your ideas about what you want your child to do, who you want your child to be. And if you practice responsive parenting techniques like I try to and like I teach to other people, we also, of course, want to learn to respond to who they are and take that so into consideration. Um, and another thing to also consider when our children try on, and that's the important word there, try on things that are really different from us and who we are, and sometimes different from our family values. And you'll notice that as they start to get into their tween and teen years, it's very natural for them to start looking to their peers for approval and unity more so than us, which is really sad and really hurtful. And it's not hurtful on purpose, like they're trying to be mean. I mean, it just hurts my heart. And I have a story about that in a minute about my minivan. But the fact of the matter is that we may raise our children one way and they learn about other ways, and sometimes we get really scared or we think we've lost them or they're going to be that like a different group than who we thought they should be, and that's really sad. That's unfortunately a really limiting belief. when we're not afraid of those things, when we know we've been a responsive parent, when we know that we've had conversations with our children and we've taught them how to be problem solvers, it's really beautiful sometimes to see what they try on and to see them go through that. And sometimes that's where they stay and they stick, and sometimes it's not. But if we're not open to their experiences in their life, and we're not willing to talk about it openly without judgment, that doesn't mean, of course, you can't voice your concerns. Of course, you can voice your concerns. But when the concerns come out as a lecture, or the concerns come out as an ultimatum, or you might think like that, but that's not how it's going to be here. That's really how you damage a relationship. What you're really sending the message to your child is that I don't trust you to have your own thoughts. It's not okay what you believe. And that's how we lose our children. And um, so I guess I just want to sum that up with, let's try and be open. Let's practice political conversations that are more open, even when it's hard. I struggle with it too. I'm not saying that's why we're ish. That's why I'm all about mindful ish to some extent. If we try to do it more often than not, we're already doing better than we were. And that'll lead me right into my minivan story. So I, last Friday, today, turned in my minivan and said goodbye to it. I was a minivan driving mama for about a decade. It was one of the most wonderful decades of my life with my children. When I got the minivan, I was so excited. I wanted to fill it with children, and I did. I often had my boys and my best friend Misty's son Max, and I often had my other best friend's sons, Ashton and Hudson, in there. A lot of times I had my cousins Olivia and Mikey in the van with us, and we would just go on adventures. We go to the zoo for the day, or we would go to the skate park, and we would go really far. And I always kind of felt like here we were, this mama and her babies, and we're just, having so much fun. And the minivan really provided that for us. We ate in there. A lot of people peed in there. Don't worry, it was in a cup. But the minivan brought me so much joy. And recently, one of my dearest friends, Allie, her daughter Aubrey, fell in love with the minivan. She said it's the coolest car, and she loves the doors and the windows. And so when it was time for me to give it up, and I'm just noticing that Aubrey really loves the minivan, I was even sadder to let it go. I was worried she was going to stop loving Aunt Franny if I didn't have the minivan. I was kidding. We were tight. We have a great relationship. But I turned it in, and I have this fun little teeny tiny SUV, and it's not going to ever probably be filled with 100 million children again. And that has been a really hard thing for me to think about. My son is a driver now, and my youngest guy, he has his learner's permit, and my stepchildren are adults. And so and my goddaughter and my Aubrey, they thank goodness I have them, but since I don't have them all the time, I don't need a minivan. So hopefully I'll revisit the minivan in due time, many years from now, when I am a grandma driving a minivan filled with all my grandkids and all their friends, and we're going around doing all the beautiful things that I did with my kids and that I wish I could have done with Evie and Cody, my stepchildren, but I know I'm going to get to do it with their children one day, and that brings me so much joy to my heart. Anyway, I see 4 people watching, which is very exciting to me. I still never figured out how to see a comment unless nobody wrote a comment, which that could be it. But I thank you guys for being here, and I'm wishing everybody the most wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Friday.